Who should the Wallabies pick for their opening game of the Nations Championship against Ireland? Now, in this video, I'm going to be giving who I think they will pick and who I think they should pick as well. I mean, there's obviously a lot of speculation for who they will pick. A lot of guys left out as well. And there's a few big names that I think would have been featuring here, but they obviously aren't available because of injury and because of many other reasons as well. But before we do get into it, if you do enjoy the content, please don't forget to like and subscribe to help the channel grow. I appreciate all the support. And for the Nations Championship, I will be covering all the teams, match previews, team selection reactions as well as soon as the teams do come out, match reactions as well directly after the game, player ratings, and of course these predicted lineups as well. So if you do enjoy that content, hit the subscribe button and stick around. It's going to be very fun. We're trying to get to 10,000 subscribers, but we've only been doing this for a few months and the support has been absolutely awesome. That being said, we are trying to get more Wallabies fans to the channel. I enjoy the Wallabies rugby. I really enjoy watching them play. I hope I know a lot about the team, but if you disagree or agree with some of the things I have to say, let me know down below in the comments. Let's talk about it. I really do enjoy all the comments. So let's go through the team once that I've selected here that I think they will pick, and let's go talk about why I've kind of chosen some of these players. So number 1, James Slipper. Number 2, Billy Pollard. Number 3, Alan Alaalatoa. Number 4, Jeremy Williams. Number 5, Tom Hooper. Number 6, Rob Valetini. Number 7, Fraser McWright. Number 8, Harry Wilson. I mean, what a forward pack. Number 9, Tate McDermott. Number 10, Ben Donaldson. Number 11, Max Jorgensen. Number 12, Len Iketal. Number 13, Joseph Suali'i. Number 14, Dylan Peach. Number 15, Tom Wright. And then the impact players, number 16, I've gone for Brandon Paenga Amosa. Number 17, Angus Bell. Number 18, Daniela Tupou. Number 19, Josh Canham. Number 20, Carlo Tizzano. Number 21, Ryan Lonergan. Number 22, Hunter Paisami. Number 23, Filippo Daguni. So some really good players there. A lot of these guys were inexperienced players a few years ago, but are now really good, experienced international campaigners. Some informed players there, some guys that have been playing overseas. I think the one name that's really missing there is Will Skelton. You can just see that the locks, I've had to make a few changes. They've had to change things up a little bit in the locks because he's not there. But I think right now with this team, especially if you are playing against Ireland, the most crucial thing you can do is play informed players the entire time. You just have to play the players that have the best form and just not play players out of positions. There are a few guys that are utilities here, like a Valetini at 6, a Tom Hooper at 5, but those guys can play in those positions, but you just have to play the strongest players available. So we'll go through some of the selections. So for the front row, Slipper, Pollard, and Alaalatoa. I think this does make sense. These guys are very experienced, and I think Billy Pollard's been really good recently. And a Slipper and an Alaalatoa can really put a lot of pressure on that Ireland front row that I don't think's at its strongest without a guy like Andrew Porter as well. They don't really have the strongest guys available there right now. And to be honest, I don't think the front row scrummaging from Ireland is at the strongest it's ever been. I think that is a good opportunity for this Wallabies scrum to actually get some dominance, which they haven't been doing in recent years. They do it on the occasional game, but they need to start doing it consistently. So that's the front row I've gone for. I think the bench front row I've gone for makes a lot of sense because they will be impact players that play the game with a really fast pace as well. Now locks, this is where it got really difficult for me because I will be honest, the lock stocks are really thin right now. I had to move a guy out of position, Tom Hooper, and I think right now the locks, I'm not too sure who are the strongest locks there. I think this is maybe where I could be wrong with this, but I hope my selections do make sense. Jeremy Williams at number 4 because he has that experience. He's played there a lot of times before and he's been pretty good this year in Super Rugby. Number 5, Tom Hooper. He has been excellent for the Exeter Chiefs. And to be honest, looking at the loose forwards, I think the loose forwards do make sense on form and just how good those guys are as players. Tom Hooper is one of the best players in this team. And at the end of the day, you have to find a way for these best players to play, even if it is out of position. I mean, at set piece time, he's always a line-out option. He knows how to scrum there. And I think around the park as well, he'll do the same job he normally does for Exeter and for the Wallabies as well. So having him there just increases the strength of the forward pack and increases the amount of informed players on the field at once. Looking at the loose forwards, we have Rob Valetini, Fraser McWright, and Harry Wilson. Rob Valetini and Harry Wilson, I don't really think they should be battling it out for the 8 jersey. I think you have to kind of put one in the 6 jersey and one in the 8 jersey. I think it makes sense for Harry Wilson to be in the number 8 jersey. He's got that ball handling ability. He's a really skillful player, a very underrated skillful player as well. And he even won the kind of it was the best number 8 in the world last year. He made the world dream team as well. So you have to play guys like that there. But Rob Valetini has to be in the team. He's physical, he's a big boy, and he really dominates every single person he plays against. He was really, the impact he had in those games against the British and Irish Lions, you can't see through that. He has to be in the starting lineup, and he is one of the best forwards in the world by far. Then of course you have another guy like Fraser McWright, who's good over the ball, good around the park, and I think that loose trio is really deadly right now. So I predicted for the Ireland side it's going to be Tide Byrne, Josh van der Fleer, and Jack Conan because of Caelan Doris's injury. So can you imagine that loose trio playing against the likes of a Rob Valetini, a Fraser McWright, and a Harry Wilson? It's going to be absolute fireworks. It's going to be absolutely awesome. Moving on to the back line, number 9 and number 10, I've gone for Tate McDermott based on form, based on what we've seen on him as well. He's a really good player. He can break the game open, and a lot of times last year they would put him on the wing for the end of the game, so he can play there if needed. Don't think they should play him there, but they can play him there if needed. Number 10, I've gone for Ben Donaldson. From the 10s from this group, from Ben Donaldson's probably been the guy that I've seen the most of. He's got the whole package of the kick game, good around the park, quick as well, can break the game open with his speed and footwork. I just think it makes sense to have him there. Of course, you have a guy like Carter Gordon as well. I mean, whoever they do pick at 10, I think they really have to do a lot to keep their position. And I think right now, the 10 spot's probably one of those spots where they're not too sure who is going to be the 10 for the World Cup. But right now, I feel like it does look like it might be Ben Donaldson. Looking at the centres, pretty stock standard. I've gone for Len Ekitau and Joseph Suali'i. It has to be said though, Joseph Suali'i has not been in his best form recently. He had a good season in his initial season 2 seasons ago for the Wallabies when they played against England and beat them there, when they played against Scotland as well. He was good in that series. He was good there at the end of the year. Recently, he's not been at his best. He's been a bit quiet, and I think a lot of people have been saying as well, maybe he is an outside back, maybe he should be at fullback, maybe he should be at wing. I think if they do play him at fullback or wing in some of these games, then I will put him there for the other predicted lineups. But right now, I don't see why they will do that. I think they will stick with the Len Ekitau at 12. He's been absolutely awesome for Exeter. One of the best 12s in the world. And I think he did win. I think he did kind of get the World Dream Team last year at number 12 as well. So you have to play a guy like that there. Then Joseph Suali'i at 13. But there are other guys as well who I think can make a massive impact for the Wallabies, like a Hunter Paisami as well. Then looking at the back three, of course, I've gone for Max Jorgensen, the in-form Max Jorgensen, one of the best players in the world and one of my picks to kind of challenge Louis Bilberry for the World Player of the Year this year. If he can just stay healthy and play the way he's been playing, he could honestly be winning World Player of the Year this year. Number 14, I've gone for Dylan Peach. Haven't seen too much of him in the Super Rugby because I didn't really watch that much of the Australian games in the Super Rugby early on, and not many of them did make the playoffs. But Dylan Peach has been really good every time he's played for the Wallabies. Last year for the Wallabies, he was absolutely awesome. He's physical, he's fast, he's a good finisher, and I think you need that as a wing. You need a guy that can finish off those tries, and you need a guy that has that physicality as well. And he has a weird way about playing. He's got a weird style of play, but it works really well, and he is really good every time he plays for the Wallabies. So I think you have to play him there. Of course, there's other guys as well like Dangunu and Harry Potter, who I thought was really good as well last year. But a guy like Dylan Peach, he has to play there in my opinion. And of course, number 15, I've gone for Tom Wright. It makes sense to play Tom Wright at number 15. He's quick, he's good, he's agile, he's good with ball in hand, he's confident, and he just plays really well alongside these guys. I imagine a Len Ekitau, a Suali'i, a Max Jorgensen, and a Tom Wright in the same backline will be absolutely deadly. Of course, he did miss last year with a few injuries, which I was really sad to see, but now I'm excited to see him back, and I think he'll slot right back into the number 15 jersey as well, and he will add a lot to the team. So that's my starting lineup there, a mixture of experience with some younger guys that now have experience, some guys that need to step up, but also a lot of guys in form as well to try take on this Ireland team, who I think has a really strong team that they have available to them. Looking at the impact players on the bench front row, Brandon Paenga-Amosa, Angus Bell, and Taniela Tupou. It makes sense because Brandon Paenga-Amosa has always been the guy playing in that number 16 jersey. He's been really good there. And last year, the Wallabies had this thing of they would always come back at the end of the game. And I would always see Brandon Paenga-Amosa scoring more tries. So I just see him there in that number 16 jersey. He's comfortable in that role, so keep him there. I think it starts getting a bit tricky once you start playing actual starting players on the bench where they're not really sure, they're not really used to it, and start playing actual bench impact players in the starting lineup as well. That it's just a different style of rugby, and I think Brandon Paenga-Amosa suits the bench role very well. Now 17 and 18, Angus Bell and Taniela Tupou. This is really exciting. Both of them good with ball in hand, good footwork, a lot of pace as well, very fast players as well. Angus Bell's been awesome for Ulster, and Taniela Tupou has been good for Racing as well. So I'm really excited to see these two guys come off the bench together. That this is one of those things where I'm talking about the style of a bench player. I don't think James Slip is a bench player. I don't think Alan Alalatoa is a bench player. I think Angus Bell can be really good off the bench as an impact player, and I think the same for Taniela Tupou. So I think that kind of front row coming on together will cause a lot of damage together and could honestly help the Wallabies get a win with that kind of good scrum battle that I think the Wallabies might get the better of in this game. But looking at number 19 and number 20, of course I've gone for a 5-3 split. I've gone for Josh Canham and Carlo Tizzano. Now Josh Canham, he's a good player, he's a big body as well. He's one of those guys you need to bring on with that bench to just add that firepower at scrum time, at set piece time, at the end of the game. Of course there are other guys as well, but this is just who I think they will pick. Of course, if there's a whole different, if the selections are completely different, then I'm going to have to reevaluate this list for the next game. And of course, Carlo Tizzano. For in my opinion, Carlo Tizzano is one of the best impact players in the world of the bench. He's been really good. He always scores. For some reason, he always scores tries. He always knows how to score. He's always near the try line. He's always getting really close. And he's one of those guys that is a perfect impact player. And can you imagine guys like Tom Hooper, somehow at the end of the game, a Tom Hooper, a Valentini, a Harry Wilson, or a Fraser McWright, some of those guys with a Carlo Tizzano at the end of the game? That could be really fun to watch. But I mean, there's a lot of depth in the loose trio, the kind of loose forwards for the Wallabies right now. They really are blessed with some really good loose forwards. And there's some guys as well that weren't even selected. I mean, there's some really good guys in those loose forward stocks for the Wallabies right now. They're looking really good. But I think Carlo Tizzano is the best guy off the bench for them. Then the three backs on the bench, I've gone for Ryan Lonergan just from an experience perspective. He's been there a few times. Haven't seen him be too good at that level, so I wouldn't put him in the starting lineup right now because I think a guy like Tate McDermott might be able to play 80 minutes. Then you have a Hunter Paisami at 22 with a Filippo Danguni at 23. This really does work like a 1-2 punch, bringing them on together. Both play for the Reds. Both are really phenomenal players. Both are physical. Both are fast. Both are very explosive. Both are very athletic as well. I think those two can come on to the game in the second half and make a really big impact. What I think they might do there, at the end of the game, they might move a guy like Suali'i to the wing or to fullback, then bring a guy like Dangunu on with a Hunter Paisami. Dangunu on the wing with Hunter Paisami in the centres alongside Len Ikitau. They've been playing there for a while, and Hunter Paisami is one of those underrated, explosive players that can add so much to this team. Same for Filippo Dangunu as well. I'd like to see him get more caps for the Wallabies because I've seen what he can do. I've seen his highlights, and I think right now this probably is the best team available. But I'll go through it one more time. James Slipper at number 1, Billy Pollard at number 2, number 3 Alan Alaalatoa, Jeremy Williams, Tom Hooper at the locks, loose forwards Rob Valentini, Fraser McWright and Harry Wilson, number 9 and number 10 McDermott and Ben Donaldson. Back 3, Max Jorgensen, Dylan Peach and Tom Wright, and the centres, Len Ikitau and Joseph Suali'i. The impact players, Brandon Paenga-Amosa, Angus Bell and Taniela Tupou. What an impact they will make. Josh Canham and Carlo Tizzano to kind of finish off the forwards on the bench, and then the guys on the bench from the back line, Ryan Lonergan, Hunter Paisami and Filippo Danguni. Please let me know down below if you disagree, or if you do agree, let me know why or why not. Let's talk about it down below. Thank you for all the support, and I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.